Independent marketers threaten shutdown in Northeast over alleged harassment by customs. Troops neutralize more bandits in Kaduna villages. Bandits kidnap Catholic priest in Zamfara. Atiku visits Buhari at his residence in Daura, Katsina State. And on the foreign scene, Togo lifts suspension on foreign journalist accreditations. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's news update. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Thanks for joining us. Now, the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria has issued a stern warning threatening to shut down all petroleum filling stations in Adamawa and Taraba states. This action is in response to what the association describes as harassment of its members by officers of the Nigerian Customs Service. Gibson Saudigo reports.
Speaking at a press conference, the chairman of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria for Adamawa and Taraba states, Tayiru Buwa, expressed the association's frustration over alleged harassment of its members by the Nigerian Customs Service. He accused the NCS anti-smuggling unit, known as Operation Wild Wind, of abandoning their designated border operations to target legitimate businesses within metropolitan and local government areas. This, he claimed, has resulted in financial losses, artificial scarcity, and increased price of petroleum products.
Confiscating and impounding our petroleum tanker trucks and sealing of filling stations by these men of the Nigerian Customs Services. This act is unacceptable and unreasonable to us, hence has led to 1. Financial losses by the petroleum marketers, artificial scarcity of petroleum products in the states, hike in prices of products to consumers due to non-availability of petroleum supplies by our members. Number 4, crippling of the state economy, which this government has worked tirelessly to curtail.
In a bid to seek resolution, Buba called on National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, Governor Ahmad Murfintri of Adamawa State, and Governor Kefas Abu of Taraba State to intervene. He warned that if their concerns are not addressed by June 25, 2024, all petroleum product stakeholders will initiate an industrial action.
To step in as the matter of urgency and of public interest to do the needful by calling the men of the Nigerian Customs Service to order so as to quench the escalation that may probably lead to industrial actions by all the stakeholders of petroleum products, which are IMAN, NATO, and all branches of NUPEN, which include PTD, IND, PSW, ELD, and SUTAKET, etc.
Recently, the NSC Comptroller General Bashir Adewale Adeni revealed that within 2 weeks of its inauguration, Operation Wild Wind seized 150,950 liters of petroleum valued at over 105 million naira nationwide. Gibson Saudigo, Trust TV News, Yola.
The security troops of the Nigerian Army have neutralized several bandits in a fresh coordinated attack in Giwa local government area of Kaduna State. The coordinated ground and air strikes by troops of Operation Well Punch successfully neutralized several bandits, including some of their leaders, at an identified meeting point near Bula community within Yadi Forest in Giwa local government area. According to operational feedback to the Kaduna State government released by the State Commissioner of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arawan, the strike was based on credible intelligence which followed the recent elimination of some bandit kingpins along the Kaduna-Katsina border areas. Arawan said the intelligence report had earlier revealed that bandits were to converge at the area for a meeting on a deadly mission within the Yadi Forest general area before they were dislodged by troops of Operation Well Punch. Receiving the report, the Kaduna State Governor Uba Sani expressed his satisfaction and commended the security forces for their quick response, diligent efforts, and precise execution. The governor thanks the various sources who provided crucial intelligence leading to the successful strike. Suspected bandits have kidnapped the parish priest of St. Raymond Catholic Church, Damba, Reverend Father Mika Suleiman, in the Gusau area of Zamfara State. The spokesperson of Zamfara State Police Command, Yazid Abubakar, Said Father Mika was kidnapped around 3 a.m. on Saturday at his residence in the Damba area of Gusau. He noted that although the incident was not reported to the police, the command has, however, deployed a police tactical squad to trail the kidnappers and to ensure his safe return. The acting chancellor of the Catholic Diocese of Sokoto, the Very Reverend Father Nuhu Ilya, in a statement on Saturday, confirmed the abduction. Over in Nasarawa State, Shabu community has been thrown into confusion following the kidnapping of Musa Shoaibu, the mother king of Shabu community in Lafia local government area of Nasarawa State, by yet to be identified gunmen. The gunmen were said to have stormed the area at about 8 p.m. on Thursday night and whisked him away to a yet to be identified location. A source from the area who craved anonymity said Shoaibu was kidnapped a few meters away from his residence after observing his Muslim Ishai prayers in a mosque in the area. The police public relations officer in the state, PPRO DSP Ramhan Nansel, who confirmed the incident to journalists in Lafia, said personnel of the command had been drafted to the area to ensure that the chief is rescued unhurt and to apprehend the criminal elements. We move to health matters, where the Lagos state government says the number of fatalities from the cholera outbreak in the state has risen to 35 following the latest updates, which reported 401 suspected cases and 15 fatalities. At the last count, the government said Lagos Island, Gusau and Etiosa recorded the highest numbers. But on the latest update on his Instagram handle on Saturday, the State Commissioner for Health, Akin Abayomi, said the number of confirmed cases in the nation's commercial capital is now 417. On Thursday, the World Health Organization announced a spike in cholera in several regions of the world, with almost 195,000 cases and over 1,900 deaths reported in 24 countries since the start of 2024. According to WHO, the Eastern Mediterranean region reported the highest number of cases, followed by the African region, the region of the Americas, the Southeast Asia region, and the European region. The Kano state government has advised residents against drinking rainwater to prevent the spread of cholera. The advice was contained in a statement on Saturday by the head of the Public Relations Unit, Ministry of Health, Ibrahim Abdullahi, and issued to newsmen on Saturday. Abdullahi said the advice was necessary because usually the rainy season comes with cholera complications, which some states in the country have already fallen victim to. He urged residents to always wash vegetables and fruits thoroughly with clean water before consumption, as they are mostly purchased from the markets where they are not properly washed. He said Governor Abba Yusuf administration will continue to give all the needed attention to the health care of the people of the state, adding that health is one of the aspects that the governor accords maximum priorities. Over in Benue State, residents of the state capital Makurdi are still counting their losses after torrential downpour caused flooding as well as collapse of residential houses. Jimmy Azande reports that this has become a perennial problem in some parts of the state whenever there is a heavy downpour. His report.
Most residential areas in the state capital are not planned in a manner that enables easy flow of rainwater during heavy downpours. Hence, some devastating consequences when it rains heavily.
Many of them, their houses and their fences have actually fallen. We are calling upon the government or whoever has assigned this project to make sure that what was expected to be done is done, so that the people will actually not be affected the way it is right now. We understand that the rain that has fallen today because of what has been dumped here.
Residents here are suffering the consequence of poor urban planning that may have been avoided if the right thing was done.
I've been here for the past 15, 20 years, and this thing has been happening. The much of have been drainage here now. There always been a different things we see. This one is too heavy. We need government to come to our head and dig water by the side, this way and this way, so that the water will be taken to riverside.
And actually, it's getting worse as some fences are even down and buildings almost collapsing like this. So actually, I want to urge the contractors to hurry up and look into the case.
Observers say both the government and residents have a lot to do for the environment to avoid such disasters.
The rains haven't begun in earnest and flood has actually taken place. I would advise that people don't build on water channels, and then the government should also arise to this responsibility to ensure that before people erect structures, they follow the proper guidelines in order to avert further consequences of flood.
With NAMED prediction, it seems residents have more to worry in this year's rainy season, as heavy downpours are expected in the weeks ahead. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
Political matters, the People's Democratic Party PDP presidential candidate in the 2023 election, Atiku Abubakar, on Saturday visited former President Muhammadu Buhari and his residence in Daura, Katsina State. A video of the visit showed that the former governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Tambuwal, was part of Atiku's entourage. The visit is coming barely 3 days after Atiku visited former military heads of state Ibrahim Babangida and Abdusalami Abubakar in their respective residences in Mina, Niger State. The visits have heightened speculations that Atiku is preparing grounds to contest the 2027 presidential election in May. Atiku had vowed to continue contesting for the presidency as long as he's healthy. He made a declaration amid moves to form a coalition with his counterpart from Labour Party, P2B, and other political parties. More stories. Every year in Nigeria, thousands of students are churned out of the nation's tertiary institutions, with most of them seeking vacant positions to occupy in an almost saturated labor market. Governments, both at the federal and state levels, have repeatedly said the ratio of available jobs to fresh graduates seeking employment is so disproportionate that unless a greater chunk of graduates take to entrepreneurship, unemployment will continue to rise. In Gombe, 33-year-old Abubakar Adamu, in line with government's position, is advocating entrepreneurship among the young graduates, warning that the era of white-collar jobs is gradually fading. Hassan Koli tells us more.
On a daily basis, Adamu Abubakar goes to Gombe main market, where he sells poultry for a living. He is now advocating for youths to focus on building their own businesses rather than looking for paid jobs.
Currently, agri education, BSc.
I studied agricultural education and graduated in 2018. When I came back home, I realized that getting a government job will not be easy. So I ventured into the chicken business here in Gombe main market. In fact, that was the best decision I made because it pays my bills. To me, everyone has to use what they learn in school to distinguish themselves from those who never attended formal education. Adamu won't graduate against relying on government jobs, saying the current economic realities will not be easy for both the government and graduates. With the current economic condition, students must combine studies and skills development or start a small-scale business. This will help them sustain their lives during studies and after graduation. It is unfortunate that most of the students nowadays become liabilities after graduation, simply because they don't have any skills and have not ventured into any business enterprise. I am advising students, especially youth, to look at how to become self-employed, because from my experience, being self-employed is far better than most paid jobs.
Small-scale business,
According to University World News records, 600,000 graduates are produced each academic year in Nigeria, which is worrisome as it translates to a bulging youthful, energetic and employed population with no contribution to the economic growth of the country. From Gombe, Hassan Koli, reporting for Trust TV.
tribal marks is an old practice in Nigeria among different tribes, clans, hamlet, or people practicing particular trade. However, the old practice is gradually disappearing due to civilization and other factors. Trust TV's Bello Musa spoke to parents and other residents who shared their views on the relevance or otherwise of tribal marks in this era. The report.
Traditionally, tribal marks are made by cutting or scaring the skin with sharp instruments. The process is mostly done during infancy or early childhood by the local barbers in the communities. The aim is to give tribal a sense of identity and belonging among people.
In ɗauki jinsi na Fulani ɗaki-ɗaki ne.
Fulanis are of different clan, family, and race, so marks in the face reveal the identity of where each Fulani come from and their clan. Even our animals used to have marks in them for identification. I did not do marks for my children because now things have changed. In the olden days, it was used for identification. I have 2 boys and 4 girls, and none of them are wearing tribal marks. Tribal marks is also used for beautification and in some cases for inoculation against childhood disease or spiritual attack. The ancient practice is, however, fast fading out. Nowadays, people see it as uncivilized practice, though it makes some people look beautiful.
Wasu abun yana musu kyau kwarai da gaske to amma da yawa yanzu a gaskiya ana kyamar abu
ko wata hayimbe ali wala be aci
Now, many factors discourage the practice, like religion of Islam.
For now, it's no longer relevant, and the reasons why it's no longer relevant is probably due to civilizations, probably due to people tend to change those norms that we normally have, probably in the forms of identifications. Now you find out that one person can hear different languages, so you don't need a tribal mark to be able to identify where he comes from.
Local barbers used to be the traditional healer in the communities, and they also performed the cutting and scaring the skin with their knife and other sharp objects. But according to Zakaria Ismail, a local barber who inherited the practice from their parents, says tribal marks are on the verge of becoming a history. On a scale of 1 to 100, 70% of people have stopped putting tribal marks on their children. They hardly come to us for the marks. It is fast fading. As tribal marks are fast fading, wearing tattoo on skin is now replacing tribal marks among young people. Bello Musa, Trust TV News Kaduna.
There you have it. Would you rather have a tribal mark for identification? Now in business, the NGX Insurance Index led the losers during the 3 days trading due to the Salah holiday. The sector fell by 132% week on week. The figure contributed to 0.18% decline in the broader market indices. The NGX 30 index followed with a 0.16% decline, and the NGX Banking Index fell by 0.04% week on week. Conversely, the NGX Oil and Gas Index led the gainers, rising by 0.35% week on week, followed by the NGX Consumer Goods Index, which increased by 0.29%. Specifically, sell pressure witnessed in the decline sectors led to negative price movements in the stocks of VFD Group, AICO, Insurance, and AXA Mansard. Consequently, NGX All Share Index and market capitalization depreciated by 0.18% to close the week at 99,743.05 and 56.424 trillion naira each, compared to 99,925.38 basis points and 56.527 trillion naira respectively. Analysts advise market players and investors to trade in stocks of companies with sound fundamentals as trading volume patterns continue to fluctuate. Away from Nigeria, Togo authorities say they will lift a suspension on accreditations for foreign journalists imposed in April after a highly contested constitutional reform. The High Authority for Audiovisual and Communication, HAC, suspended accreditations before legislative elections that saw President Faure Gnassingbé's ruling party extend his family's political dynasty. HAC had said the suspension was because of serious failures in the coverage of Togo's politics by French media and issues with a French journalist who was expelled from Togo. Reporters Without Borders had denounced the suspension as a violation of freedom of information. Gnassingbé's Union for the Republic Party won 108 of the 113 parliament seats in the election in the small West African state. Under the constitutional reform, the presidency becomes a largely ceremonial post elected by lawmakers. Power shifts to a new president of the Council of Ministers. And in sports, Nigerian-born goalkeeper Arthur Okonkwo has confirmed he has left Arsenal to join Wrexham. Okonkwo made this known in a statement via his Instagram account on Saturday. The 22-year-old spent last season on loan at Wrexham. He played a key role in Wrexham securing promotion to League One. Okonkwo joined Arsenal back in 2009 when he was 8 years old. And that's it for news update at this hour. For more of our news, programs and documentaries, please do want to follow us on all our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chama Katwafo. Please remember to maintain good hygiene and stay safe.